Hello class, Professor Wheeler. My name is Nissim Baker. The topic that I decided to research was the restaurants in New York City, and I wanted to see the results upon the inspections that have taken place. Where I received my information from, typed into Google the New York City restaurant inspection results, went onto the New York City Open Data, and I was able to find this information where I exported it into an Excel sheet, and what yielded was a lot of information, over 450,000 rows of restaurants that were inspected, and it definitely gave me a lot of information to go off of. So I just wanted to show you this screen to show you where I got the data, but for the most part we're going to focus on the Excel sheet. The information that it exported was various business names, the restaurants, and just to go through quickly, the location of where the restaurant was currently located, as well as building, more specifically the street, zip code, phone number. It also gave the kind of restaurant that it was. You have American, Chinese, various others. Also, something to note is that these inspection dates range as far back as you'll notice here in cell I2, as far back as January 1st of 1900, and it goes as recently as April 26th of 2016. Other information that it gives were any actions that were taken upon the inspection results. So for example, it will state the violations that took place. It also gives the specific violation code that the restaurant convicted. And then it also gives you a description of what exactly the violation was. So for example, violation code 15L is a smoke-free workplace. Smoking policy inadequate, not posted, not provided to employees. So it's a small demeanor, nothing too crazy. It doesn't mean that they were fined an incredible amount. However, it does give more information onto what the violation code was. Finally, the other tabs that it had were the critical flags, whether or not the violation was a critical violation. So as you see, not having a smoke-free sign is not necessarily a critical misdemeanor. It also gives a score. The score is ranged from -2 and it goes all the way up to 156. I'm not entirely sure what it means if you get -2 versus 156. But it does give letter grades. A obviously is good. B, C, sometimes it gives no grade. But it also tells you the date that it was graded. So for many of these restaurants, you might see duplicates. So 83rd and a half, you might see the #1 Garden Chinese. The reason why these are listed numerous times is because they were inspected numerous times. So because there's so much information, and I would scroll down to show you just how many there are, but like I said before, over 450,000. I'm not sure if my computer can handle the amount of information while scrolling, so just for the sake of your attention span, I'm going to keep it right here for now. But what I did was I wanted to narrow it down from 450 grand. I wanted to try to get a little more focused information on some more popular restaurants. So what I did was I filtered the businesses, the restaurants, into 4, let's call it more common restaurants. And I was just curious to see the bigger names and see how they fared when it came to inspections, violations, the kind of grades that they got. So I cut it down to 4, and I looked more into Burger King, Wendy's, Chipotle, Mexican Grill, and McDonald's. And what I first wanted to see was the amount of violations that each of these restaurants had. So here's just a small filtered screen showing Wendy's, Chipotle, Burger King, McDonald's. And what I did was I also filtered or changed up the violation codes. This is the amount of violations in total. And I put it from smallest to largest, and you'll see a better graph visualization in the dashboards down here. But again, so here we have Wendy's in this span of 116 years, I believe it was. They've been inspected 321 times. Chipotle 527, Burger King 746, and McDonald's with a whopping 1955. So I was wondering, the fact that they were inspected so many times, I wonder if that's because maybe there are just people like McDonald's and they want to make sure that its standard is up to par, or perhaps there are just so many of them that since it's such a large franchise, anytime an inspector would come into a McDonald's, regardless of where it's located, it would be classified under the McDonald's name. So the number of inspections that I found were, I wanted to go a little more in depth, and so have a similar pivot table here that shows, again, it has Wendy's, it has Chipotle, Burger King, and McDonald's. And what I did was, again, the same numbers. I put in the pivot table. I wanted to know on a monthly basis, per month actually, I should say. In January, see, of these 321 times during the year, how often an inspector came. And so, as you see, the different amount of inspections during each month. And just something noticeable that McDonald's clearly had many more inspections on a monthly basis than all the other three. The final tab that I had were the inspection grades. So here I just, it gave me more options besides ABC. Again, it had blanks, but just for the sake of time, I just cut it down to A, B, and C. So we see that of these, there were a total of 748 grades that were given to Burger King and Chipotle, McDonald's, etc. Here's the breakdown. So you see that's of these 748, 634 were an A grade, 91 was a B, and 23 was a C. Just to quickly show the dashboard showing these graphs. So to start it off again, like I said, I put the violations. I put this in order of most to least, or least to most, and you see that Wendy's is down here with only 321. Just Chipotle as it goes up. Also, the total inspections, again, you can see that I used a line graph that shows how Wendy's, not as many inspections, but as we move up into, I guess, the more popular restaurants, the inspections go higher. And then finally, we have the inspection grade. So you see that even though McDonald's may have had many inspections, at the end of the day, their letter grading, their A, is quite exponential compared to their B's and C's. And Burger King, Chipotle, Wendy's also put slicers here that you could sift through them. And basically, with each slicer, you'll see how it affects the dashboard. It affects the graphs as well. And that's all the time that I have. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.